top stories this evening. One-time airlines are facing liquidation due to maladministration of their databases. In other news, with the recent merger of University of Durban-Westville and University of Natal are facing issues with the integration of the database system. Good evening and welcome to Dbms News. For your news this evening, I'm Yufti Harilal. In our top story, one-time airlines are facing liquidation due to maladministration of their databases. To shed more light on this matter, we have a leading expert, Desh Chirkut, in our studio. Hi Desh, and thank you for being here today. What can you tell us about centralized databases?
Well, Yufti, a centralized database is a database that is located and maintained in one location. If you look to the screen on your right, you'll see an illustration depicting how this works. As you can see, a single database is maintained in one location. This type of database is usually managed by a database administrator, and access is managed through a local area network or a wireless area network. Also, the terminals allow us distributed access to the data.
Thank you, Desh. That was really insightful. Can you give us real-world examples as to where centralized databases are used?
Banks use centralized databases, which allows their clients to use several branches when they have to perform their transactions. Airline reservation systems also make use of centralized databases, which helps to prevent double bookings of flights.
Coming up after the break, we learn about how distributed databases work.
Envato presents Centralized 2.0 by Data Jungle, the best database software available. Centralized 2.0 has the advantages of increased reliability and availability, modular, incremental growth, lower communication costs, and overall faster response. Disadvantages of Centralized 2.0 are software cost and complexity. Centralized 2.0 by Data Jungle.
Welcome back to Dbms News. Still in studio is our leading expert in databases, Desh Chirkut. So Desh, we have heard about centralized databases. What can you tell us about distributed databases?
A distributed database is a database in which the storage devices are not all attached to one common processing unit, such as the CPU.
Thank you, Desh. That was really informative. Can you tell us how distributed databases remain up to date with new and current data?
Well, there are two processes which ensure that distributed databases remain up to date and current. These are replication and duplication. Replication makes use of specialized software which identifies changes made in the distributive databases. Once these changes have been identified, a replication process begins, which makes all the databases look the same. Duplication, on the other hand, is less complex. It basically identifies one database as a master, then it duplicates that database.
Thank you, Desh Chirkut, for joining us and educating us on databases.
Not a problem, Yufti. Thanks for having me on this edition of DBMS.
Before we conclude this evening's news, we have a message from our sponsor. For Dbms News, I'm Yufti Harilal, and thank you for joining us. Have a good evening.
Is your company having problems with their databases? Are you spending countless hours trying to manage your database but to no avail? Well, look no further, then try ACES Distributed Database Software, the world's #1 database manufacturer. Advantages of this software include increased reliability and availability, easier expansions. However, disadvantages are additional software is required, and the operating system should support distributed environment. ACES Distributive Database Software, out now at all leading retailers.